Put God first. Discipline, that's what we're talking about today. Not just talent, not just dreams, but the grind, the unseen work, the sacrifice. You want success. You want greatness. Then understand this: success starts with discipline. That means doing what's right long after the mood you made that decision in is gone. That's what separates winners from wishers. Discipline is the foundation of success. It's not luck, it's not talent, and it's not some once lifetime opportunity that defines greatness. It's discipline, the ability to stay the course, to do the right thing, even when it's the hardest thing. Discipline is what separates the person who dreams from the person who achieves. Denzel Washington often speaks with a deep conviction that echoes this truth. He reminds us that commitment gets you started, but only discipline can take you to the finish line. You see, discipline is not just about routines or strict schedules. It's about integrity with yourself. It's about making a promise and not breaking it. Not because someone's watching, not because you'll get in trouble, but because you respect your own word. When you say you're going to wake up early and train, you do it. When you decide to cut out distractions and focus, you don't make excuses. Discipline is the muscle that helps you show up every day, especially when you don't feel like it. It's that quiet voice that says, keep going. When your mind is screaming, give up, many people want success. They talk about their goals, their dreams, their big vision boards. But what they lack is the discipline to put in the work day after day after day. Denzel has said before that dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. He's right, because without discipline, a dream has no structure. It has no engine. It just sits there, untouched, unworked, and eventually it fades. But when discipline steps in, that dream starts to come alive. Each repetition, each decision, each sacrifice adds up and pushes you forward. Slowly at first, then all at once. Discipline doesn't just show up in the big moments. It's forged in the small ones. It's in getting out of bed when that alarm rings. It's in saying no to the easy way out. It's in reading one more page, writing one more sentence, practicing one more time. That's where winners are made. Not on stage, not under lights, not in front of a cheering crowd, but in the dark, behind the scenes, when no one is clapping. That's where the real battle is fought and won. And yes, discipline is hard. It demands something from you. It demands consistency. It demands that you become uncomfortable and stay there. It demands that you do what's necessary, not just what feels good. But there's freedom in that. Because once you develop the habit of discipline, you don't wait for motivation anymore. You don't hope to feel inspired. You get up and you do the work, regardless of how you feel. That's real power. That's real maturity. Denzel's own journey reflects this. He didn't wake up a legendary actor. He had to train, audition, fail, get rejected, and come back again and again. He had to hold himself to a standard, even when no one else believed in him. That's what discipline looks like. It's not glamorous. It's not always fun, but it builds something within you that can't be taken away. Character, grit, focus, all of which are necessary for lasting success. And when you're disciplined, you gain something even more valuable than success self-respect. You start to trust yourself. You start to believe that when you say you'll do something, you'll follow through. That builds confidence, not the kind that's loud and showy, but the kind that's quiet and undeniable. The kind of confidence that can walk into any room, face any challenge, and still stand tall. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's built through decisions made daily. And at the root of those decisions is discipline. It's the foundation, steady, unshakable, always there. Without it, everything else crumbles. With it, anything is possible. That's what Denzel means when he says, success starts with discipline, not because it sounds good, but because it's the truth. Plain and simple. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. That's a truth most people overlook when chasing success. In today's world, hustle is glamorized. People talk about staying up all night, working nonstop, pushing harder and harder. But effort without direction is wasted energy. This is where discipline separates the amateurs from the professionals, the dreamers from the doors. You can be the most talented person in the room, but if you lack the discipline to focus that talent, to mold it, to sharpen it through consistency and control, then you're just spinning your wheels in the same place. Discipline is what turns potential into power. Denzel Washington has often emphasized that talent is just the beginning. There are plenty of talented people out there, people who can sing, write, lead. But talent without discipline is like a car without gas. It might look good, but it's not going anywhere. True success demands more than natural ability. It requires structure, sacrifice, and self-control. And the truth is, that's the part most people don't see. They see the awards, the applause, the success stories, but they don't see the hours spent behind closed doors doing the hard things that nobody else wants to do. There's a dangerous lie we've been sold that motivation is what gets us to our goals. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you wake up and you feel inspired. Other days you feel tired, unmotivated, and full of doubt. That's when discipline steps in. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It simply shows up. It's the quiet voice that says, do it anyway. When everything inside you wants to quit. Think about it. How many people start off strong? At the beginning of every year, millions of people set goals. They say they want to lose weight, build a business, become a better person. And for the first few weeks, they do well. They're motivated. They're excited. But as soon as it gets hard, when they hit that first obstacle, they start to slow down. Why? Because they were relying on emotion. They didn't build the muscle of discipline. Discipline is like a muscle. You don't get it overnight. You have to train it. You have to stretch it, tear it, and rebuild it. It takes time. And it's uncomfortable. But if you're serious about success, you must be more committed to your goals than your comfort. Denzel didn't become an award-winning actor by taking shortcuts. He practiced. He studied. He got rejected. But he showed up day after day, year after year, because he knew that if he kept showing up, kept doing the work, eventually the results would follow. And here's something else. Discipline also means saying no to distractions, no to bad habits, no to the crowd that doesn't support your growth. Success isn't just about what you say yes to. It's about what you're willing to walk away from. That requires courage. That requires vision. And that requires discipline. In a world full of noise and options and temptations, discipline keeps you centered. It keeps you locked in. Everyone's looking for shortcuts, but discipline doesn't take shortcuts. It takes the stairs one step at a time, every single day. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting, but it works. It always works. That's the truth Denzel lives by. That's the truth every champion understands. You don't win by chance. You win by choice. The choice to stay focused. The choice to keep going. The choice to rise above your emotions. Discipline is the edge. It's the difference between someone who almost made it and someone who did. So ask yourself, are you busy or are you productive? Are you moving with purpose or just going through the motions? Because success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters over and over with intention and discipline. That's how you build something that lasts. That's how you win. What you do every single day when no one is watching, when the cameras are off, when there's no applause, is what shapes the life you're building. Discipline isn't something loud. It's not glamorous. It's quiet. It happens in the early mornings when that alarm clock goes off and every part of you wants to hit snooze. It happens in the late nights when your body is tired, but your purpose won't let you quit just yet. That's where the real battle is. And that's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. It's a feeling. One day you're fired up, the next you're dragging your feet. But discipline stays. It shows up even when the fire is gone. Denzel Washington has often emphasized the power of consistency, of showing up, of doing your job, whether you feel like it or not. Because greatness isn't born in bursts of excitement. It's forged in the ordinary. It's built in the daily habits, the small actions that seem insignificant at the time, but over weeks, months, and years, they form the foundation of your future. When Denzel talks about discipline, he's not just talking about being tough. He's talking about being focused, being intentional, understanding what you want out of life and refusing to let distractions pull you off course. That's what separates successful people from the rest. It's not always talent. It's not always connections. It's discipline. It's those who can delay gratification, who can sacrifice comfort today for excellence tomorrow. You can't expect your life to change if your habits stay the same. Every time you choose discipline, when you go to the gym instead of staying in bed, when you read instead of scrolling your phone, when you study instead of partying, you're making a deposit into your future. You're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. And over time, those small decisions become who you are. Success isn't a moment, it's a lifestyle. And that lifestyle is built day by day, brick by brick. Denzel would tell you this plainly. You don't get to the top by accident. You get there through effort, through intentional repetition. You have to train yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. And that training doesn't stop once you've had a little success. In fact, success can be dangerous. It can make you relax. It can make you forget how hard you worked to get there. But discipline won't let that happen. Discipline keeps you sharp. It reminds you that there's always room to grow, that the next level requires more, not less. And it's not just about career success or fame. Discipline spills into every area of your life, your relationships, your faith, your health. It's about honoring your word, doing what you said you would do, long after the feeling has faded. It's about setting a standard for yourself and refusing to lower it. That's what builds character. That's what earns respect. That's how you live a life of purpose, not just productivity. People talk a lot about dreams. They post quotes. They make vision boards. And that's all good. But the dream means nothing without discipline. You can have all the vision in the world, but if your actions don't match your goals, then your dream is just a fantasy. Denzel is the kind of man who would tell you straight, don't confuse desire with discipline. Wanting something badly is not the same as working for it daily. Real discipline is when you show up even on the days you don't want to. Real discipline is when you say no to good things so you can say yes to great things. Discipline is what allows you to look back a year from now and say, I'm not the same person. It's what gives you confidence. Because deep down, you know you've earned it. You didn't shortcut your way to the top. You built it. You sacrificed for it. You worked when others rested. You believed in the process when the results were still invisible. And that makes the success even sweeter. So if you're chasing a goal, remember this: the world may not see the work you're doing now. It may not clap for your discipline today, but keep going. Keep showing up. Keep choosing habits that reflect your purpose. Because one day, that discipline will show up, not just in your success, but in who you've become and that version of you. That's the real reward. Discipline builds character through sacrifice. It's easy to talk about success, to dream big, to want the rewards, the recognition, the money, the comfort, the praise. But what most people don't see, and what they often don't want to see, is the price that has to be paid to get there. The quiet moments of discomfort. The days when you have to push through exhaustion, rejection, and doubt. Discipline is the quiet force that makes sacrifice possible. It's what keeps you moving forward when your emotions are pulling you back. There's a line Denzel Washington said that resonates deeply. You pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. And that's the truth most people overlook. Everyone wants the blessing, but not everyone is willing to deal with the mess that comes with it. The mud is the cost of the rain. It's the early mornings, the lonely nights, the setbacks, the failures. It's sacrificing time with friends so you can focus. It's skipping temporary pleasures so you can build something that lasts. Discipline teaches you how to make those sacrifices without bitterness. It helps you accept that the process is part of the prize. True character is not built when things are easy. It's revealed and strengthened when things are hard, when everything in you wants to quit, when the shortcut looks tempting, when no one's clapping for you. Discipline is what makes you keep going anyway. It doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't care if you're tired. It only cares about the goal, the mission, the bigger picture. Sacrifice hurts, but discipline reminds you why you started. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about positioning yourself for more, for better, for what you were truly meant to become. Denzel Washington didn't become one of the greatest actors of our time by accident. He paid a price. He made sacrifices. And discipline is what made those sacrifices meaningful. He talks about how every decision we make is shaping our future, how every little compromise, every moment of laziness, every missed opportunity adds up. But so does every act of discipline. Every time you stay focused when distractions come, every time you choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure. That's how character is built. That's how greatness is developed. There will be moments in life when nobody believes in your vision but you. That's when discipline becomes your best friend. It won't cheer you on, but it will carry you forward. It won't make things easier, but it will make you stronger. Sacrifice without discipline leads to burnout, but sacrifice with discipline leads to transformation. You begin to see challenges as training. You start to see struggles as sharpening tools. You don't avoid the hard things. You face them because you know they're shaping you to someone who can handle more. The truth is, not everyone will understand your sacrifices. They'll call you obsessed, say you're doing too much, ask why you don't just take it easy. But they're not on your path. They don't see your vision. Discipline helps you stay locked, and even when others don't get it. It keeps your eyes on your purpose, not on public opinion. Sacrificing comfort today so you can walk in your calling tomorrow. That's not crazy. That's character. And discipline is the furnace that forges it. There's a level of success that only opens up when you've proven you can handle discipline. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. When you've shown that you can delay gratification, stay consistent, and remain faithful even when the rewards are far off. That's when doors start opening. That's when you begin to elevate, not just in your career, but as a person, because now you're not just talented, you're trustworthy. You're not just skilled, you're solid. That's what sacrifice through discipline creates. A foundation that can't be shaken. Denzel once said, not fall back, fall forward. That means even when you fail, even when things don't go your way, you keep moving. You keep sacrificing. You keep showing up. Because discipline is not about perfection. It's about perseverance. It's about saying, I may not be there yet, but I refuse to give up now. You don't let fear, fatigue, or failure stop you. You embrace the mud. You carry the weight. And in doing so, you become someone who doesn't just chase success. You become someone who's prepared to hold it, to sustain it, and to inspire others through it. That's discipline. That's the difference. Stay hungry. Stay humble. This principle embodies the spirit of discipline that drives true and lasting success. Too often, people mistake activity for achievement. They get busy, they hustle, they move. But they forget to measure whether that movement is truly progress. Denzel Washington has said, don't confuse movement with progress. That line alone carries a heavy truth. It reminds us that discipline isn't just about how much we do. It's about how well we focus, how consistently we grow, and how deeply we remain connected to our purpose. Staying hungry means never becoming complacent. Success has a strange way of making people lazy. Once we reach a certain level, there's a temptation to ease off, to enjoy the comfort we've earned. But discipline refuses to let you coast. It whispers, you haven't arrived yet. Hunger is what keeps your eyes open when the world is sleeping. It's what gets you up at 5 a.m. when nobody's watching, nobody's clapping, and nobody's checking. It's the fire inside that says, good enough is not enough. Denzel himself, despite all his accolades, his awards, his global fame, has always stressed the importance of staying a student. That's what humility is. It's not putting yourself down. It's keeping yourself grounded. It's the voice inside that reminds you, I may be successful, but I'm not better than anyone else. I still have more to learn, more to give. That's why staying humble is as important as staying hungry. One without the other leads to imbalance. Hunger without humility can turn into arrogance. Humility without hunger can turn into passivity. But together, they forge a kind of quiet, unshakable discipline that refuses to let up. Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't need validation. When you're humble, you're not worried about proving yourself to the world. You're focused on improving yourself for your mission. And when you're hungry, you're never fully satisfied. You don't stop at average. You don't settle for applause. You aim for excellence every time. That's why the most disciplined people aren't always the ones shouting about it on social media. They're not out here showing off. They're in the gym, in the studio, in the books, grinding in silence. Their results speak for them. Denzel's own journey is a blueprint of this principle. Despite becoming one of the most respected actors in the world, he never stopped refining his craft. He took roles that challenged him. He worked behind the camera to direct and produce films that mattered. Why? Because the hunger never left and the humility never faded. He didn't rest on his legacy. He built it one brick at a time, even after achieving more than most ever will. That takes discipline. Success can sometimes make you forget why you started. The applause can drown out the voice of purpose. That's why humility is crucial. It reminds you that your gift is not just for you, it's for others. It reminds you that your position is temporary, but your impact can be eternal. Humility makes sure that your ego doesn't sabotage your progress. It keeps you focused on the mission, not the image. And that mission requires constant growth. Discipline demands that you keep sharpening your tools. Stay curious. Keep learning. Read books. Watch those better than you. Ask questions. Be coachable. Because the day you think you know it all is the day you start falling behind. Hunger says, I want more. Humility says, I still need to grow. Discipline holds both of those truths in tension and turns them into action. In a world full of noise, distractions, and shortcuts, staying hungry and humble is a radical act. But it's the act that brings real success, the kind that lasts. Not the fame that fades in a few years, not the momentary high of a viral video, but the lifelong impact that inspires, uplifts, and transforms others. That's the kind of success Denzel talks about. The kind that's built through discipline. So the next time you're tempted to slow down because things are good enough, or puff your chest because others are clapping, remember this: stay hungry, stay humble. Let that hunger push you further than yesterday. Let that humility keep you grounded, focused, and grateful. And above all, let discipline be the engine that keeps you moving forward, not just moving in circles.